So why don't you just tell me a little bit about what you're doing, what kind of hustle you've been working on, your whole trip to New York, everything that you've been doing the last year.
All right, well, just after I recently graduated high school in June, I moved up to New York City. I'm living with my grandparents. They live on 20th Street. It's in Stuyvesant Town. It's really nice. It's like a little oasis in the city. And I moved up there basically to start my acting dream, my acting career, see if we can get that going. So I went on an audition earlier in the year. It was for Steven Spielberg's production of West Side Story. And it was just a really good learning experience for me, learning like how you wait on lines, how the audition process goes, at least for things like that. And that was a lot of cool information that I got that I realized. And through going up to the city, I saw some shows. I'm taking an acting class at HB Studios. Actually, it just ended. I'm taking my second one in early September. It starts. And I'm also helping to assist and direct a play at this theater called The Cell.
Okay.
It's in on the south side of the city. It's nice. It's a little below me. It's like a half an hour walk. And it's called The Evolution of Man. And I went there, met up with people, talked to them. We talked about the audition process, agents. I'm in the process of getting an agent. A bunch of really cool stuff. I've learned a lot from people there. And also, one really cool thing I got to do was my mom's friend has a lot of connections in the city and in this business. So I got to go see Kiki Boots on Broadway. And then afterwards, I got to go backstage and hang out with the guy who plays Lola, which is cool. It's the main lead in the show. And then afterwards, we exchanged phone numbers. I got to go on the stage, get a little tour, and we actually went out to dinner and talked more about the audition process, acting, what he's done, what I've done, all these different things. And I learned a lot from that. So I'm basically just getting started, getting the ball rolling, meeting a lot of people, making connections, and it's basically what I've done so far.
So so you talk about connections. What have you been doing so far in New York City or outside to kind of grow that network and grow the connections?
Well, one thing is you have to just kind of go out and do things. You can't be like, oh yeah, this would be cool, that would be cool. Just going out and meeting people and making connections, going places where there could be opportunities. Like going to that theater, I went to meet with one person, I met like 15 different people, and all of those people have their own connections.
Right.
So through that, they could know someone that I know, or if they see someone that could help me, they'd be like, oh, this kid's really cool, I'll introduce you to him. That's how I got where I am now. If I hadn't reached out, I wouldn't have been able to meet up with the guy on Broadway, Stefan Durrett, and all these different things, because it's all people you know, to get your foot in the door, opportunities to come your way so you can really seize the moment. And basically going out, making connections, reaching out to people, and not giving up or getting discouraged helps a lot.
So obviously, like my thing is all social media. That's kind of what we've been doing here. Have you used at all, or try to have branched out to use the power of social media to network with people that could put you where you want to be in the acting field?
I have thought about that actually more recently than I had before, because one of the things, I was talking to someone who helps out with acting, casting directors and all that, and they said a cool thing is if you have a big following, you could go into a project and be like, I already have this giant support group who will come and see what I'm doing, and that could really help you get your foot in the door. So I've actually been considering that more recently, about growing a social media presence, doing all that stuff, because I hadn't really thought about that before. So I'm actually considering.
Because here's the awesome part about what you're doing. So I think the hard part, like when people, there's a lot of like social media marketers on the market today, and the hard part with that is that they're selling a theory. They're selling like it's all theoretical of, I can do this for your company, I can do this for you. If you do this, this will happen. But like we said, it's all theoretical that it might happen. The cool part about you is that you have a physical product, and that is yourself. And I've said it before, whether it be you're trying to sell coffee, or you're trying to sell clothing, or you're trying to sell a program, no matter what it is you're trying to sell, in the end of the day, you're selling yourself. You're the product. If you can make people buy into you, they'll buy whatever it is you're selling. The nice part for you is that making people buy into you, you are what they're buying. So, if you were to reach out over social media, if you were to grow up a large following and literally reach out to every single independent film, theater, production person in New York City, like every single one of them, and be like, this is who I am, here's what I've done, let me come be in your film, pay or no pay, but just to put your face out there and to grow that resume. Exactly.
And plus, there are a lot of student films that are no pay, but it's a great way to get real, like acting real, what you can do. Because the cool thing is, like, you get on Broadway, that's awesome, but my friend Stefan, we were talking, and he doesn't have any content because you're not allowed to videotape your show. So doing a lot of things, getting your reel so you can send them out to agents is a huge part of it. So I've been applying for some student films, some are coming up, and just whatever you can, just see what you can do.
And the cool part about with you is that the easiest way to make content, the easiest way to do all that is just essentially documenting, because you don't actually really need to create anything. You just need to document the journey of, I am an actor in New York City, and here is the entire extent of what I'm doing. Everything you do from day one when you start to, I've landed a major role on Broadway or in film or whatever. And see, I think people on YouTube or Instagram TV or whatever platform would really dig that of, you can sit down and watch this guy chasing his dream, chasing his hustle, because there's not a lot of people doing it in that format of, I am literally going from day one, let's walk into this audition, vlogging the entire thing, or getting someone to film it like we have here, and recording everything and documenting it. And because I think that's what people are going to find real, is that you're not sitting down saying, oh, this is what you need to do to be successful, or this or that, like in creation of content. You are literally just documenting your entire journey. You have to do it anyway.
Yeah, it's showing it rather than saying,
exactly.
And actions speak louder than words in context.
You might as well do it, like go out there, put it out on social media, allow people to follow it. But then also, I think the big thing is a lot of people put things out on social media with the expectation that individuals and people who will change their life will come to them.
Yeah.
I'm a big firm believer that you need to play the hashtag game, go into hashtag acting or Broadway, New York City or whatever, all those different hashtags, start commenting on pictures of just went and saw this show, start just growing that acting field. And if you can get 5,000 people following you on social media that care, and then you go to a thing and say, hey, these people care about me, I can now add value to your production. Because I think that's what it is, and that's something I had a lot of trouble with for a while, is trying to figure out how do you add value? Because it's easy to reach out to somebody that has a lot of followers or has something that you can use and be, I want to work with you. But at the end of the day, the first thing you need to do is add value to their life. And so you're sitting around, what can I do for you? How can I do that? And that's something I've had a lot of trouble figuring out. But if you can go to somebody's film and say, I need this role, I need this part, but I have 5,000 people who care about me that will now care about your film because I've sold them on myself.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, your film now becomes the product, but they're already buying into me, so now I can sell that product, which is your film.
Yeah, exactly. And with that, the making connections, having people supporting you, going into somewhere, if someone has a connection with someone and they introduce you, you already have that much of a leg up on the competition.
Right.
Because through the people I've met, they've gotten to know me, but they've only taken that chance because of the other people who said, oh, check this kid out, he's great at this or that or whatever. But having connections, having people to refer you or just suggest you to people really helps out a ton, because it makes you seem more reliable, more reputable, all these different things that really can help you in the long run. And all these connections help out incredibly.
I mean, it's like, and that's like kind of what we were talking about. If you reach out to 1,000 people that are just doing independent projects, and let's say 10 of them actually bring you on, because it might only be that small, like 1 in 100 will actually say yes. Yeah. So let's say you work 10 films or 10 productions, and one person, just one guy, knows somebody in Broadway or major film or TV movie production. One person watches that or tells them about you, then you made it.
Yeah,
you win.
The thing with that is, it's not all chance, because you have to make your own luck in this type of business. But it's all opportunity. It's all just being in the right place at the right time.
Right.
But you're not going to get there unless you put in the work.
Right.
Like, you're only going to be in the right place at the right time if you made the connections and work to get where you are. And then it only takes one opportunity to send you skyrocketing.
Yeah.
But you have to be willing to go out and work and not wait for that moment to come to you.
Right.
You have to go out and find it.
Well, that's the awesome part, is that right now you have a lot of leverage, and that leverage is your time. Because I've had that issue in my early entrepreneurial career of, oh, I don't have money. And what I didn't figure out then, but I understand now, is no, but I have time.
Yeah.
And so with you obviously taking a gap year, you have the time to go out and literally apply for 1,000 different independent films, to literally sit on social media for an hour and a half a day trying to market yourself and grow your following. You have that time to do all of that, to grow your name, to make it until in 5 years down the road when one person sees it and then you're off to the races.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And the other cool part is, I think if you look at like the attention graph, or so, like where people's eyes are, it's going to the phones. Netflix is big, but it's going away from television. Movies are, relatively large, and theater is kind of a niche market if you're into it.
Yeah.
But everybody's on YouTube, everybody's on Instagram, everybody's on Twitter, Facebook, everybody's watching it. So if you are able to get yourself big on there first, which you can do by yourself just via documenting, and you can go on there, you're gonna have so many eyes in front of you. You're gonna have so many eyes in front of you that it's the amount of people that would have seen you before in person will now, in my opinion, triple, if not quadruple, because now you're going to have some guy sitting in Hollywood that will be able to see what you're doing, see, oh, this is a guy chasing it in New York, and now you've had that connection which you wouldn't have been able to make with the whole face-to-face.
Yeah, and no matter what you're doing, as long as you're building a following, you don't have to be doing one thing or the other, just something that applies to you. You could honestly be doing anything. If it's building support, you can use that in any way. Because if you have people supporting you, following you, connecting with you, then that can be applied no matter what. It doesn't matter if you're an unboxing YouTube channel or like a video game channel. You still have supporters.
Right.
And that can be pulled in to get you whatever you want.
Right. And like I said, I think it's the things that are working. You have so much in your favor. The leverage of time, the fact that you can just document a journey. You don't have to create anything. You just have to show what you're doing. And I think honestly, and I know that's kind of where we're harping on it, but literally just reaching out, because there's got to be at least 1,000 people in New York City trying to make film, trying to make production, trying to do individual small side theater hustles. Sing a cabaret here, do a little bit of a play there, act in this short film here, and next thing you know, you're going down the races, and you've done 100 productions, and then that 101st production is the one where you start to actually go.
And even if you're not in the show, still going out and supporting local theaters, you can meet people, because there are people who go out, talent scouts, anything, casting directors looking at talent. If you go and just put yourself out there, no matter what it is, you have a better chance than if you just sit at home and wait for something to happen to you.
Exactly, and it's all macro. You know what I mean? It's obviously your macro goal is you want to be a successful actor.
Yeah, exactly.
And so the micro is just what are the little films, what are the little projects, what are the little productions, what are the social media hacks that you can use to get there.
Because a lot of the things people do, and the reason why they fail so much is because they only have their eye on the big goal. Like, oh, I'm going to audition for this, and this, but these giant movies, if you're not reputable and people haven't supported you in the past and you don't have a record, why would you get that over someone who does?
You're not going to make in $1 million business your first time around the block. For like in the entrepreneurial market, it takes work.
It takes small level stuff to build up.
Exactly.
You have to stand on the shoulders of your previous successes in order to get your main goal.
You got to pillar up. It's all about success pillaring up. One thing leads to the next, into the next, into the next. Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah. Cool. I mean, all right. We think we're pretty good.
Yeah, that was 12 and a half minutes.